1988, my band is playing a nightclub called Oil Can Harry's in Decatur, Illinois. First time there, weren't really thrilled about being at the place. It was a little out of our loop, but there we were. And the club during the day had strippers, and at the end of the night, they would have bands playing. So we get there in the afternoon to load in, like we do. And there's a girl on girl show happening up on the stage. And, we're just hanging out, eating the buffet, standing in line with the girls for some macaroni and cheese while this whole thing going on. And when the girl on girl thing is over, the feature entertainer comes out, and she is just unbelievable. She's built like Jessica Rabbit with blonde hair. Just an amazing specimen of a American stripper in full-blown action. And when she gets off the deck, I strike up a conversation with her like I do. And her and I hook up that night. Go back to our hotel room and do what we do. And we have this horrendous party that goes on. And of course, the morning comes. There's the sheriff and the owner of the motel. There's not two of you in there, there is many, and we're kicked out. And by the time I wake up off on the floor, the chick that I'm with, Candy, the feature from the club, she's long gone. And I remember asking you about going back to her place, and she said that would be complicated. I was like, well, whatever. I know everything I was interested in wasn't complicated, so, party on. So the next night we're there, we get there early, and the girl on girl show is happening, the candy show is happening, the whole thing's going on. And in between sets that my band is playing, me and the stripper, the feature entertainer, are going to the bathroom, and we're having quickies. It is much of a horny bastard that I was. This was a whole new level of how much activity was happening between me and this feature entertainer.
Villains! You want died like last men visit Amazonia?
What'd they die of?
Crushed pelvises.
Yes!
Oh, thank you, Lord in heaven.
And we go back to the new motel that night when the show is over, and same thing happens again. We have this big party, we get thrown out. At some point, the candy chick disappears, and that's how it is. And we had been dealing with some assistant manager that had been dealing with us because the owner of the club had been out of town. So Friday night, show up at the club to do the gig. Manager comes up to me and goes, hey, I want to introduce you to the owner, right? Walk around the bar, and there is one of the biggest bikers I've ever seen in my life, and his name was Oil Can. He was Oil Can from Oil Can Harry's. This huge fucking biker with this big 1%er patch on, and he's got something else too. He's got his arm around, that chick that I've been banging for the past 2 days, Candy, the feature entertainer. He goes, my name's Oil Can, this is my old lady, Candy. And she's like winking at me while she's got his arm around him. I'm like fucking horrified, like, Jesus Christ, man. My heart's about to drop, man. This guy is enormous. And he's got his arm around her, she's got his arm around him, she's winking at me. I am like super uncomfortable. I was like, yeah, man, nice to meet you. I turn around, walk back to the stage. So I can go throw up somewhere, And right after that chick Candy, she comes after me and she goes, come on, let's sneak away in the bathroom for a quickie. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind with your old man right here? There'll be this Goliath of a human being. I said, no, this whole thing is over. She said to me, you're going to come in that bathroom and you're going to fuck me, or else I'm going to tell him that you've been doing me all week long. Oh, Jesus, because now I'm under the gun,
After lengthy femputations, I, Femputer, have decided the fate of the men. Femputer sentences them to death! By Snu Snu!
Yeah! What are you, gay?
So I go in the bathroom with this chick, disappear, and I'm having a difficult time performing because of all the stress of, this man murdering me and dragging me down the highway from his fucking motorcycle. I am so stressed out from this situation that I am unable to perform. I mean, even before this moment had hit, I had been running out of steam, so to speak. I mean, there was nothing coming out of me but like a little flag that said bang, like a puff of dust, you know. But I was unable to make this thing happen with her, man. And she grabbed my everything I had. And they gave it a yank and said, "You better get this together for later, or I'm going to tell him you've been doing me, and I'm going to make sure that you pay for this." And I was like, "All right." So she just walked out of the stall, and you know, there's all the other girls in the bathroom, like just looking around, like this average thing that's happening here. You know, and I was under duress hard, man. And on stage that night, as I was playing, you know, she is just looking at me and fucking winking and licking her lips and shit. And I'm just fucking dying. Like, there's no way I'm gonna survive this. This is an ugly situation any way you look at it. So thank God that they walked out together, jumped on the back of his bike, and they split into the night. And like, man, oh, thank God I'm off the hook for that, right? That was the good news. The bad news is that we were living in the parking lot because we were banned from every motel, hotel, camping spot, pickup truck rental anywhere in the state of Illinois after destroying 2 hotels in 2 nights, you know. So one of the hotels was a place recommended by the club, so there was definitely going to be some ugly business when that revelation came about. So our last day there was Saturday, and a lot of interesting things happened on Saturday. One of the things that happened Saturday morning is that I had to desperately use the bathroom, but the club was still closed until noon, 1 o'clock, so I had to take a shit out in the parking lot like an animal behind the bus, you know, hiding in the weeds, and boy, everybody thought that was funny. And our lead singer, John, he really thought that was funny. And later on, the club was open. You can go use the bathroom like a human being and, you know, take a shit in a stallless toilet in a strip club, you know, fancy like. You know, but another thing that happened is a cold front came in. It got really cold, you know. And our singer John, even though there was a disgusting bathroom available in the club, he decided that he wanted to take a shit outside too. And where did he do it? He shit right next to the stairs of the bus, parked right outside, you know? And as it got colder outside, he went out there and tried to kick it under the bus, and he kind of semi-kicked it, and it kicked it into a curve. It looked like a wave, and now like glossed it over, and he stepped on his own shit and brought it into the bus, man, you know? And if there's anything more rude than that, you know, when you're living with a bunch of people in a small area, I'd like to keep it clean as possible, and somebody stepping in their own shit and bringing it on the bus, and it was just taking morale down to a whole new fucking level. And that shitty carpet that he got that shit on, but we had just stolen that like a week before, so now we needed to get a new carpet. So what do you think the guys did? They went inside Oil Can Harry's and they took his fucking Harley rug right out of the fucking lobby and brought it. Now we had that on the bus with no shit on it, you know? Usually when you're stealing from the club, you wait till the night's over, but this was still in the afternoon, man, and there was no way that we were going to get away with this. And we didn't get away with it. And I'll tell you what happened. We do that show that night, right? Saturday night, our last night there. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here with my life, you know? This candy bitch wants me to have sex with her in between sets in the bathroom with her husband, big ass biker behind the bar. You know, this was really an ugly situation. So finally the show's over, and I survived 3 sets of banging this crazy stripper in the bathroom. And we start to load out, and you know, we're loading out like extra fast, like we want to get the fuck out of here, right? And man, I turn around and there's Oil Can Harry himself, and he's standing right the fuck in front of me, and he's got a finger like the size of a flashlight, puts it right in my face, and goes,
"Never rub another man's rhubarb.
I know what you did." And I'm like, oh my God, you know, and my fucking just heart just drops, like, you know. And I remember like running my tongue like along the inside of my teeth, kind of like a goodbye old friend moment, you know. And I just remember just kind of wincing, you know. Oh my God, he knows I've been fucking his girlfriend all week. I am doomed. He goes, I know that you destroyed that hotel room and somebody took my Harley rug, you motherfucker. And I'm like, oh. Just then I was relieved. I was like, oh, thank Jesus, he's not gonna kick my ass because I was fucking his woman. He's gonna kick my ass because we stole his shit and wrecked his buddy's hotel, right? And man, just at that moment, I hear Candy. When I heard that chick yell, you motherfucker, me and Oil Can both spun around, and she had a beer bottle in her hand, and she knocked him right across the skull with it. She goes, nobody fucks around on me. Turns out that Oil Can was banging one of the bartenders back there, you know, where she's banging me all week long. Oh my God. There was a moment when I thought I could be getting beaten by both of these people, you know? So she is naked and throwing beer bottles at him, and he picks up a pool cue off the side of the bar, and now he's batting beer bottles back at her as she's throwing in their motherfucking. It's like, I'm just walking sideways the fuck out of here. All right, well, y'all work on that therapy shit, you know. We got the fuck out of there, got out there, push started the bus, because that's how we did it, because our bus needed to be push started. And we got the fuck out of there, man. And just head down ahead, and man, my heart was beating hard until we got almost to Indiana. You know, there was 9 of us living on this school bus, and we had all the gear in the back. We lived in the front. There was certainly no lighting in the bus at all, and everyone just got in and spread out to their spot that we had. We had a couple couches on the bus and little spots to crash, and we're just going down the highway, leaving Oil Can Harry's behind us after a high-speed getaway. Thankful to have our lives, you know, and our new Harley rug inside the bus. And I'm sitting there, and you know, Ron was driving, and Rob was sitting next to him, you know, just kind of looking at the road, and it's all dark and quiet. We're just going down the road. And I know Beasley's sitting across from me, our lighting guy. And I'm looking at him, and there's something in his lap. There's something in his lap, like doing this. And it's dark in the bus, you know, and except for the flashing of a car coming the other way on the highway, and the car flashes. I'm like, is that a dog on Beasley's lap? That's what I say. Is that dog licking his penis? And I lean forward, and it's some chick. And I'm like, Beasley, who is this bitch? And he's like, this is, what's her name? And she just quit the club tonight, and she thinks her old man's gonna come looking for her, so I said you can come and hang out with us. I said, Beasley, we're going to Kentucky. And she picks her head up, you know, and goes, hi. And her hair's all matted, all hairspray fucking matted. And she says, if you want to sit next over here, I give you a hand job while I'm blowing them. I'm like, the fuck kind of introduction is that? You know, and, you know, it had been a weird day, and this would not be the weirdest moment, and I didn't want to be rude. And that's how the rest of that night went. And we never went back to Oil Can Harry's in Decatur, Illinois. And I hope their relationship worked out between him and Candy. And all I got to say is, you know, be careful what you wish for sometimes, because you never know when you're going to meet your match.